lot of it actually happened to me. Obviously, I took some creative leaps with the story. I've never seen my priest masturbate, thank God. A lot of it was sort of made up to make it more dramatic, but it's such an interesting way to grow up as a young girl in a Catholic environment in the Midwest where nobody else is a different religion or even a different race or have different political views. Like everyone is just very homogenous. But also, yeah, the internet was not what it was today. I mean, you could go online and search for things, but it's not the vast World Wide Web it is today. It was more like a hallway without any doors that open, or you could just open one or two. I mean, you can't find out everything. Oh yeah, all of that happened to me, like exactly. That was my screen name. I got that email about the saucy pics and asked to see more. And then my dad, because he had access to my AOL account, had to confront me about it. In fairness, he was really sweet and kind about it. He didn't really shame me, but I was like, this is the most awkward conversation in the world. I think I just flat out denied it. I was like, that wasn't me. It was obviously me.
We all spent a lot of time just sitting around in between takes talking about things that came up as we were shooting the film. We started talking about AIM, we started talking about music that we listened to. I think the three of us went on a little rant about MP3 players at one point. It's interesting to play a character in that time because it doesn't feel so long ago, I guess. And I don't feel so far away from the 5-year-old I was in the late 90s, early 2000s. But it did, there were moments where I was like, I'm an ancient.
It is very, very nostalgic. I mean, I was born in 97, so the early 2000s, I was literally an infant. But I still remember, just growing up and listening to my mom's music she would play. It's like Jennifer Lopez, but Jenny from the Block, and Justin Timberlake when he had his ramen noodle hair. And it's beautiful. I'm not hating. I love ramen, and I thought he looked gorgeous.
I think it's always fun to play in a world that is, I think right now we're in such a technologically special, strange place, and I think the generation below us is in a very interesting position, and it's, the access they have, the connectivity. I think it's nice to kind of remember a time where it was you didn't have that, all that constant. Right. It was very early stages of communicating on the internet.
It's more innocent.
Yeah.
I think definitely with my character Laura, I think she's kind of the embodiment of what it's like to be afraid of judgment. She's so desperate through the entire film to have the approval of another older, more popular girl that she even goes to the lengths of just trying to match her hairstyle. There's a lot of ways, even now, that young girls can feel very insecure and very afraid of being judged in all platforms in school and social media. And so I'm glad that we could kind of shed some light on the fact that it's okay to feel that way.
Just teenage sexuality, especially for girls, is so stigmatized that, they feel intense shame for having natural feelings, which you see, in the movie, we are all supposed to hide it. And Nina is this perfect, she seems on the surface this perfect girl who's has it all together. And then she's off, having her own sexual experiences because it's only natural. And yeah, it's just a very confusing time in general, but I relate to it very, very much.
And with Chris, there was actually this speech in the film that ended up getting cut, but you learn a lot of his backstory of what led him to be so just strong in his faith. And he talks about he was a football player and he had a spine injury and he was never able to play again. And kind of afterwards, he kind of found God and his true calling. And I think him and Natalia's character Alice are a lot more similar than you think on the surface, because yes, he's trying to be the perfect Catholic, the perfect Christian, and do everything right. But at the same time, he's a teenage boy and he's going through natural feelings and urges, and he lets himself go for a second, and then I think, kind of, and you feel sorry for him in a little ways because he's like trying so hard to not mess up.
Yeah, it's that. It's like this, but way more. That's like, I mean, the stuff that goes on in that show could just not exist in modern day. Like, just, you just like find my phone. But it's, where's Barb? I don't know. Oh, 80s. All right, now I think and the 2000s are terrible.
You don't like hammer
Low-rise
No,
jeans.
low-rise jeans are the worst.
Oh, yeah, Skybox.
There was a place called Skybox across the street, which was kind of which was a sports bar by day, a club by night, and we did. And and also Karen, Katie, and Colleen, they took us out to really some nice dinners in Atlanta. And we also all went to go see Black Panther together, which was cool. Yeah, and that was a really cool experience because... Oh my, yeah, no, there was a power outage, and we thought there was going to be a riot. People were... It was pretty intense.
I did. I think I had some monologues to memorize for the next day. I was like, guys, I want to join in. I want to be part of the group, but also I've got to learn these. We did trust falls during Black Panther, which was disruptive, but I feel like the results you can see on the
screen. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.